Hello, this is Ralph Sinkay with Visible Proof, Part 3. Now I am going to address various objections to my theory, and they all center around the likenesses to Lovelady. Well, there had to be some likenesses to Lovelady, because without them, the belief that it was Lovelady would never have persisted for nearly 50 years. But please realize that much of the evidence in the Kennedy case has been alleged to be altered. Dr. Fetzer wrote a whole book about the alterations of the Zapruder film. The medical evidence, the autopsy photos, the limousine, Oswald's gun, even President Kennedy's body have been alleged to be altered. So it's not inconceivable that the Altkins photo was altered. Some alterations would have been easy, and the easiest had to be the pattern of the shirt. It was just a matter of manipulating areas of darkness and light. That's all it was, different shades of darkness and light. Don't you think they could have done that to a photo in 1963? The hairline would have been easy to alter. And by the way, I have altered Oswald's hairline. I went into Picasa, I used their retouch functionality to move some clear skin up to his hairline. And presto, he was instantly more receding, like Lovelady. Now, I realize that they didn't have Picasa in '63, which is a consumer product, but just because it didn't exist on the consumer level doesn't mean that it did not exist at all. So the hairline and the shirt pattern are suspect, and they mean nothing. The form and the fit and the lay of the shirt could not be altered, and they mean everything. That image was altered, both subtly and not so subtly. And if you want an example of a not-so-subtle alteration, look at those white stripes running down Doorman's left shoulder. Now, I realize that if you look closely and you use your imagination, that there is supposed to be a man there, and the line between the stripes is supposed to be the man's black tie. Well, I am telling you that there was no man there. That man is fake, and I can prove it. Look at his position in relation to Doorman. Is he in front of him or behind him? If he is in front of him, then why can't we see Black Tie Man's shoulder? Why does Doorman seem to be covering it up? And since he is covering it up, then why can't we see Doorman's shoulder? It is bizarre that neither one of them has a visible shoulder. It's like they are merged together, like conjoined twins. Black Tie Man is even impinging on Doorman's face and neck. You can see that the whole figure of Black Tie Man was superimposed. And the reason it was superimposed was precisely to cover up Doorman's neck and shoulder on that side, because it would have exposed the collar and lapel, and it would have been a perfect match to Oswald. If they hadn't covered that up, there is no way they could have sold the Lovelady idea. At first glance, it would have been obvious to anyone that it was Oswald. And now, let's take a look at the unique layout of what they covered up. In these pictures, you can see Oswald's left side. You can see the collar, and below it you can see the lapel. And at the top of the lapel, you can see a loop. And the purpose of that little loop was to secure the button on the other side of the shirt if he wanted to close the shirt. Now can you see how unique that shirt was? How many shirts do you have in which there is a loop that comes across to secure the top button? I don't have any. All my shirts have just a regular buttonhole and a regular button, and that's it. There are no loops. Do you think Lovelady was wearing a shirt like that? He was wearing a regular flannel shirt. So they had to cover up the left side of Doorman's shirt, which was Oswald's shirt, because of the unusual arrangement that you see right there. That configuration, they had to rub it out, and they did. So please, look past the deception. Don't let them fool you. They transformed Doorman into Lovelady, and they did a pretty shabby job of it. It should have been rejected long ago.